So, thinking about a career in roofing, well, that's awesome. It's a field that's always going to be in demand, and we're going to help you ace that interview.
That's right.
We've got all these RoleCatcher guides right here. There's a general overview of roofing, a deep dive into those tricky interview questions, and even some info on how their AI can give you an edge in your job search.
It's really fascinating, roofing.
Yeah.
It's more than just hammering shingles. You know, your problem is solving,
Yeah.
working with all these different materials, always new technologies popping up.
Totally. And speaking of problem solving, let's jump right into some of those interview questions. RoleCatcher has a huge database, organized by experience level. Even if you're just starting out, you'll probably hear this one. What experience do you have in roofing?
Yeah, a lot of people freeze up on that one,
Okay.
especially if they're brand new to the field.
Right.
But the thing is, any hands-on experience can be relevant. Like, have you ever helped a friend with a DIY project? Good with tools? You know, do you have a knack for figuring things out? Those are all valuable skills.
Yeah, for sure.
You can highlight those.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually help tailor your answers to specific job postings.
Yeah.
I mean, it analyzes the description, picks out the keywords the employer wants, then suggests ways to emphasize those skills in your responses. Pretty neat, huh?
It is. It's like having a personal coach,
Totally.
helping you put your best foot forward. Now, as you get more experience, the questions will get, more technical.
Right.
For instance, a mid-level question might be, how do you ensure safety while working on a roof?
Yeah, safety is huge. It's not just about you, it's about the whole team.
Exactly. So when you're answering that question, be specific. Talk about things like wearing a harness, using safety ropes, and always following those OSHA guidelines. By the way, that stands for the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, the ones who set the standards.
Right. You could even mention any safety training or certifications you have. Shows you're proactive.
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher even lets you practice these answers.
Really?
Get feedback on them, too. You can record your answers.
That's cool.
Their AI will analyze, like, your tone of voice, clarity, making sure you come across as knowledgeable and confident.
I like that. Now, for those aiming for senior level roles, here's one that comes up a lot. How do you stay up to date with new roofing technologies and techniques?
This industry is constantly changing. That's actually what keeps it so interesting.
Yeah.
We're seeing new materials, new methods, and of course, solar panels are everywhere.
Oh, yeah. And green roofs. You know, those roofs covered with plants. Helps with insulation and reduces runoff.
Exactly. So when you're answering this question, show them you're a lifelong learner. Talk about industry groups you belong to, publications you read, even online forums where you connect with other roofers.
Absolutely. And don't forget to mention specialized training or certifications. Shows you're committed.
For sure. Okay, here's one that can come up at any level.
Yeah.
And it throws people off sometimes. How do you handle a project that falls behind schedule?
Everyone runs into setbacks.
Yeah.
Right. It's not about never messing up. It's about how you handle it.
Right. This is your chance to show them you're a problem solver. Think back to a time you faced a similar situation. What did you do? How did you communicate? What did you learn?
Good points. RoleCatcher has some great tips for answering these types of questions. You know, they really emphasize clear communication and staying calm.
Absolutely. The interviewer wants to see you think on your feet, come up with solutions. Now, speaking of tough situations, let's look at another mid-level question. How do you handle difficult roofing projects?
Okay, so what makes a roofing project difficult?
Oh, it could be anything.
Yeah?
Maybe a complex design with lots of angles, dormers, or an older roof that's seen better days.
I see.
Needs tons of repairs. Could even be working in extreme weather.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. So how do you approach this question in an interview?
Think about a time when you faced a really challenging project.
Right.
Maybe a roof with a steep pitch, a job in tight spaces. Walk the interviewer through it. How'd you assess it? What steps did you take? What was the outcome?
And it's okay to acknowledge the difficulty, right? Shows you understand the job.
Exactly. Focus on the positive, though.
Yeah.
Highlight those problem-solving skills, your ability to work under pressure.
RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be really helpful for this kind of question. It analyzes how you come across.
It's great.
Even suggests improvements to your wording or delivery.
It's like having a personal coach.
Yeah.
Right there in your pocket.
Exactly. Okay, let's move on. Another common mid-level question.
Yeah.
What is your experience working with different roofing materials?
This is where you can really show your versatility.
For sure.
Roofing's got so many options.
Yeah, it does.
Asphalt shingles, metal, tile, flat roofs. Each material has its own, quirks and techniques. So be honest.
Right.
Specific.
Yeah.
List what you've worked with, the projects you've done. Got special knowledge in a particular material. Highlight that. Maybe you're an expert in metal roofs, or you've taken a course on green roof systems.
What if you haven't worked with a specific material that's mentioned in the job description?
Don't panic. Just express your willingness to learn, your adaptability. You can say, while I haven't had the opportunity to work with, say, sleet yet, I'm a quick learner, eager to expand my skills.
I like it. RoleCatcher's career guide emphasizes the importance of continuous learning in roofing. Employers want people who stay up to date.
Absolutely. It's constantly evolving, so willingness to learn is key.
Okay, here's another mid-level question. How do you ensure quality workmanship on a roofing project? It's all about taking pride in your work, right?
More than just doing the job, it's about doing it right.
Exactly.
Employers need to know that you understand quality and that you have a system.
So how do you convey that in an interview?
First, emphasize your attention to detail, your commitment to industry practices.
Right.
Talk about the importance of high-quality materials following the manufacturer's guidelines. RoleCatcher also stresses communication. Explain how you communicate with your team, any subcontractors. Make sure everyone's on the same page, working towards the same quality standard.
You could even mention specific techniques you use for quality control.
Oh, for sure.
Like double-checking measurements, inspecting as you go.
Exactly.
Making sure everything's properly sealed.
Yeah.
And if you have examples of projects where you went above and beyond, definitely share those.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about another common mid-level question. What experience do you have with roof repairs?
This is crucial.
It is.
It's not just new roofs. It's diagnosing problems.
Yeah.
Providing solutions.
Absolutely.
Right.
So how do you approach this one?
Okay. Well, you got to start by outlining your experience with different types of repairs. Have you fixed leaks, replaced shingles, repaired flashing? Be specific. Give examples.
If you've got any specialized skills in repair, highlight those. Maybe you're great at finding leaks or you've got experience with specific techniques. And don't forget training or certifications related to repairs.
Good point.
All right, here's one that can be challenging, especially for those senior roles.
Yeah.
How do you handle conflicts with clients or subcontractors?
Ooh, that's a good one. Construction, it involves so many people.
Right.
Different personalities. Conflicts happen.
They do.
So employers want to know you can handle those professionally.
Exactly. So, first things first, emphasize your communication skills, your ability to stay calm. Explain that you believe in open communication, listening to different perspectives. RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be really helpful here, making sure you're coming across professional.
Yeah.
Give examples of times you've resolved conflicts. How did you approach it? What steps did you take? What was the outcome?
The key is to show them you're not afraid of conflict, that you can manage it.
Exactly. Now, before we get into more interview questions, let's step back for a second.
Okay.
Talk about the overall career landscape for roofing.
Sounds good. What are some key insights from the RoleCatcher Career Guide?
Well, first off, it's a growing field.
Good.
Demand for roofers is expected to increase. Plenty of job opportunities.
That's encouraging.
And it's a field where you can really build a career. Start as an apprentice, work your way up, journeyman, foreman, even start your own company.
I love that.
Yeah.
What about the work environment? What's it actually like being a roofer?
It is physically demanding.
Yeah.
You're outside, all kinds of weather, heights.
But it's also full of variety, right? I mean, you're not stuck in an office. You're building something.
Right.
Seeing that finished roof, there's a sense of accomplishment there.
Exactly. And you're working with a team, which can be really rewarding.
Yeah.
Now let's circle back to the interview process.
Okay. What other questions should people be prepared for?
Let's talk about a question that can be a bit tricky. What are your salary expectations?
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to, sell yourself short, but you don't want to aim too high either.
It's a balancing act.
It is. That's where RoleCatcher's salary data is so useful.
Right.
You can actually research average salaries for roofers in your area. See what people are making based on experience, specialization.
That's really helpful.
It gives you a benchmark. So when you're answering this question, be confident, but flexible.
Right.
You can give a range, emphasize that you're open to negotiation.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Another classic. What are your strengths and weaknesses?
The age-old strengths and weaknesses question.
Right.
It's all about self-awareness, presenting yourself positively even when you're talking about areas where you can improve.
So how do you approach the strengths part?
Choose strengths that are genuinely relevant to the job.
Mm-hmm.
Are you physically strong? Can you handle the demands of roofing work? Are you detail-oriented, meticulous, a team player, good communicator?
Good points.
And back up your claims with examples.
Yeah.
Don't just say you're a hard worker, give a specific instant.
Right, show, don't tell.
Exactly. Now, the weakness part can be trickier.
It can be.
You don't want to highlight major flaws.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to give a canned answer like, I'm a perfectionist.
Right. So what do you recommend?
RoleCatcher recommends choosing a weakness that you're actively working to improve.
That's smart.
It shows self-awareness, commitment to growth.
Yeah.
You could say something like, I sometimes struggle with time management, but I'm using strategies to stay more organized, prioritize tasks.
I like that.
Yeah.
Here's another one that can catch people off guard.
Yeah.
Why are you interested in working for our company?
This is where your research comes in.
Yeah.
Before the interview, take some time to learn about the company, their values, projects, reputation. What is it about this company that attracts you?
Maybe it's their commitment to safety, their reputation for quality.
Right.
Or maybe they're known for using innovative techniques.
Whatever it is, make it genuine, specific. RoleCatcher, they have a huge database of employers.
Oh, yeah?
You can find info on a company's history, their mission, even read reviews.
That's so helpful.
Use it to tailor your answer, show them you've done your homework. And pro tip, if the company have a website, social media, check out their recent projects.
Oh, good idea.
Mentioning a specific project can show your enthusiasm, help you stand out.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Okay, let's talk about another question that can sometimes feel intimidating. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
This one's about your career aspirations, how they align with the company's goals. It's not about having a rigid plan. It's about showing ambition, motivation, eagerness to grow.
So you might express interest in taking on more responsibility,
Right.
learning new skills,
Right.
maybe moving into a leadership role eventually.
Exactly. But tie it back to the company.
Yeah.
How do your goals contribute to their success?
Good point.
RoleCatcher's career guide emphasizes having a career path in mind. Helps you make good decisions, seek out the right opportunities.
Now, here's a question that often throws people off. Do you have any questions for me?
This isn't just a formality.
It's not.
No, it's your chance to show them you're engaged, curious.
Oh.
Never say, nope, I think you covered everything.
Right.
Makes you look disinterested. Instead, come prepared with a few thoughtful questions.
Like what?
You could ask about the company culture, the team you'd be working with, opportunities for training, specific projects.
Questions.
RoleCatcher's guides usually have a list of potential questions too.
That's helpful.
Yeah, those are a great starting point, but feel free to come up with your own too.
Right, based on the company and the conversation.
Exactly. Okay, let's get into some more technical questions.
Okay.
You might be asked about your experience with different types of roofing systems.
All right, so this is where you really showcase your knowledge.
Exactly. The interviewer might ask about asphalt shingles, metal roofs, tile, flat roofs.
Lots of options.
Be prepared to discuss the pros and cons of each system.
Right.
Installation techniques, any challenges you've faced.
If you have specialized knowledge, definitely highlight that.
Oh, yeah.
Shows a deeper understanding.
Absolutely. You might also be asked about building codes, safety regulations. This is crucial. Roofing is a highly regulated industry.
Right.
Employers need to know you understand those standards.
For sure. RoleCatcher's Career Guide has a good overview of those.
It does. Make sure you're familiar with OSHA regulations, local building codes.
Okay, hit me with another technical question.
How about explain the process of installing a new roof?
This is a big one. It's your chance to show you understand the whole process.
From start to finish.
Yeah.
Walk them through it.
Okay.
Inspecting the roof deck, installing underlayment, shingles, flashing, ventilation. Be clear, concise, use the right terminology.
Those are good points. And if you have any tips or tricks you've learned, share those.
Oh, yeah. Shows you're thinking critically.
Right.
Always looking to improve.
Now let's talk about a question that often comes up with repairs. How do you diagnose a roof leak?
This one's like detective work.
It is. You have to find the source.
Exactly. And it can be tricky.
It can.
So explain your process. How do you inspect the roof? What are you looking for? Do you use any tools, like a moisture meter?
RoleCatcher highlights having a keen eye for detail.
It's so important.
Being able to spot those subtle signs of damage.
If you have any stories about really tough leaks you've solved, share those.
Yeah, make it memorable.
Makes your answers more engaging.
Okay, another technical question.
Absolutely. Explain the different types of roofing materials and their applications.
This is where you show off your knowledge of materials.
Oh, yeah. Asphalt shingles, metal, tile, slate, wood shakes, TPO, EPDM. There are so many options.
Talk about the pros and cons of each one.
Right.
Their durability, cost, suitability for different climates.
Exactly. RoleCatcher's platform has a ton of info on roofing
Oh,
materials.
that's good to know.
Properties, installation, environmental impact. It's a great resource.
Definitely.
And remember, it's not just about reciting facts. Show them you understand the practical side of choosing the right material.
Okay, one more technical question. How do you ensure proper ventilation in a roofing system?
Ventilation is key.
It is. Prevents moisture buildup, extends the roof's life.
Exactly. So explain the different types of ventilation systems. Soffit vents, ridge vents, gable vents. Talk about having a balanced system, adequate intake and exhaust, and any special tools or techniques you use.
Let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Talk about soft skills. Teamwork, communication.
Those are just as important as technical
Oh,
skills.
they are. Roofing is a collaborative effort.
It is.
Employers want people who can work together.
Absolutely.
So, you might hear this. Describe a time you had to work as part of a team to achieve a goal.
This is where you showcase those collaboration skills.
Right. Choose an example that shows you can communicate, delegate, resolve conflicts.
RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be helpful here.
Oh, yeah.
Making sure you're coming across as a team player, someone who values others' contributions. And if you have experience leading a team, mention that. Talk about your leadership style, how you motivate people.
All right. Ready for another soft skills question?
Bring it on.
Okay. Describe a time you had to communicate a difficult message to a client or coworker. This is all about handling those tough conversations.
It is.
So choose an example that shows you can be honest, direct, but also respectful. Explain how you prepared for the conversation, how you delivered the message, and how you dealt with their reaction.
RoleCatcher emphasizes empathy and active listening. Show them you understand the importance of relationships, keeping those lines of communication open.
Okay, let's talk about another soft skills question that comes up a lot. How do you handle stress and pressure?
Roofing can be demanding, both physically and mentally.
You can be.
Employers want to know you can stay calm, focused.
Right. So how do you approach this one?
Highlight your coping mechanisms. Do you prioritize tasks? Take breaks when needed. Have a positive attitude. Give examples of how you've managed stressful situations in the past. Show them you're resilient, adaptable,
Good points.
that you can maintain performance, even under pressure.
RoleCatcher's Career Guide talks about self-care, stress management.
So important.
It is. Helps maintain that work-life balance.
Absolutely.
One last question for this section. What are your long-term career goals?
This is similar to the where do you see yourself in 5 years question,
Right.
but it lets you think bigger picture,
Okay.
beyond the immediate future.
Got it.
Be honest, ambitious. Do you see yourself starting your own company, becoming a certified inspector, specializing in a certain type of system?
RoleCatcher's Guide has an overview of different career paths.
It does. Use it to explore your options.
Good idea.
Find a path that fits you.
Right.
Show them you're motivated to keep learning, growing in the industry.
Okay. Ready to wrap things up?
Yeah, let's move on to the final part of our deep dive.
Okay. We've covered so much today. I mean, from like the basics of roofing to tackling those tough interview questions. But before we wrap up, let's hit on some final tips. Help you nail that interview and land your dream roofing job.
Yeah, preparation and presentation, that's the key.
Absolutely. So first things first, review that job description, like really carefully. Make sure you know what they're looking for, highlight those skills, qualifications, that match your experience.
RoleCatcher's AI is a game changer for that.
It is.
It analyzes the description, identifies those important keywords. Then you can use those same keywords to tailor your resume, your answers, really highlight what matters most.
So basically you're speaking their language.
Exactly. You're showing them you get it.
You understand their needs.
You know what they need and how you can deliver. And don't underestimate practice.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
The more you rehearse, the more confident you'll sound.
Totally. And RoleCatcher, they even let you record yourself answering those questions. Get feedback from the AI. It's like having a coach in your pocket.
It is. It's such a valuable tool.
And of course, don't forget the basics, right?
Yeah.
Dress professionally, be on time, be enthusiastic.
Even though it's a hands-on job, showing up presentable, it matters.
Oh yeah.
First impressions are everything. Shows you're serious.
Absolutely. And most importantly, be yourself.
Right. Let your personality shine through.
Let that passion for roofing come out.
Enthusiasm is contagious. They'll feel it.
They will. So what's the takeaway here? Roofing can be challenging, but it's so rewarding. And with the right preparation, resources like RoleCatcher, you can land that job, build a successful future.
And remember, there's always room to grow.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Gain experience, specialize. Maybe you become the expert in metal roofs or focus on those eco-friendly solutions.
Or even start your own business someday.
Exactly. The possibilities are out there.
I love that.
Hmm.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of roofing.
Thanks for having me.
We hope this has given you the insights, the tools, the confidence to pursue a career in this awesome field.
Absolutely. Go get 'em.
Good luck out there.